All right, guys, everybody's favorite subject, taxes. Thankfully, 2018, the year we're in right now, this is April of 2018 when I'm recording this, will be the last year for the tax penalty for not having a plan through the Affordable Care Act. That's the first thing I want to explain real quickly. This tax penalty, I'm not going to go into the details as to why it came and what I think of it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That news is out there. Google it. Don't Google insurance quotes. A salesmanyoucantrust.com for that. But the first thing you need to understand, that tax penalty only applies to the Affordable Care Act. What do I mean? If you don't have Medicare, Medicaid, or a work plan, there's only two other plans that will protect you from being penalized on your taxes for not having health insurance. Those plans are an Affordable Care Act plan, the ACA, Obamacare, Trump Care, the Affordable Care Act is the official name. You must have that, or you can get one of those faith-based health share programs and you won't be penalized for having those. They're very strict to get into. I do sell one of them. Contact me if you want to talk about that. I'll be making another video at some point about health share programs. But that's it. You have Medicare, Medicaid, a work plan, a health share plan, or the Affordable Care Act. If you do not have insurance from one of those places, you will receive a penalty on your taxes for not having acceptable insurance, acceptable by the government. Okay? Now, there are many other plans out there, and I recommend a lot of them. I have a plan that does not protect me from the penalty. Now, why would you do that? Folks, let's make a quick example. Let's say you buy a plan from the Affordable Care Act that isn't subsidized. I have a video about the Affordable Care Act that goes into more details about what subsidized means. Check that out if you have questions. But say you get a plan that isn't subsidized. You get no help from the government paying for it. And they're going to charge you $500 a month. That's about what they would charge me to get one. Okay, that is $6,000 a year for health insurance. To avoid, in my case, a $2,000 penalty. In your case, it could be $1,700, $1,500, who knows? Let's use nice round numbers. So let's say you buy a $500 per month policy, a $6,000 per year health insurance, to avoid a $1,000 fine. Okay? That's why you purchased, you gotta have health insurance if you're smart anyway, but you purchased that style to avoid the penalty. Why would you ever buy something that didn't avoid the penalty, like I do? Here's why. I don't get a $500 a month policy, a $6,000 a year policy, because I can buy private insurance for $3,000 a year. Okay? A $3,000 saving. Even if I get a $2,000 fine, I'm still saving $1,000 a year. If you get less of a fine, if you get a $1,000 fine, you would be saving even more money. Do you see what I mean? I'm not going to pay an outrageous sum of money for a health plan that protects me from a fine from our government whenever I could buy any kind of health plan that I like on the marketplace, still get the penalty because it's not acceptable to our government. Because why wouldn't it be acceptable to our government? Because it doesn't cover pre-existing conditions, because it doesn't cover pregnancy, because it doesn't cover psychological things that I personally don't need. Maybe you don't either. If you do need those things, that's another discussion. But if you don't need those things, why buy a policy that offers all that and costs a fortune to avoid a fine that is saving you $1,000 when buying a better policy will save you $3,000 or $4,000, and even if you get a penalty and take it out of that savings, you're still saving money. Don't be afraid of the fine necessarily. Contact me at a salesman you can trust so we can talk about it, so we can go over your finances, so we can go over your budget, so we can go over your health needs and get you a plan that suits you to avoid that fine or not avoid that fine. It all depends on your circumstance. That's why I'm here. I'm a salesman you can trust. I will walk you through that, and I will take the harassment out of health insurance and bring the honesty back to health insurance.